All right. Welcome everybody to Talk That Talk. We have the unfiltered, unscripted, uncomfortable conversation about band, HBCU, band culture, music education, and more. We got a whole new brand or band or group or whatever you want to call it of new subscribers. So first things first, I kind of want to say what's up to the new subscribers. So what's up to the new subscribers? If you've never been to this show, if you never walked into the show, man, I'm the host. Y'all know me from J. Luke's Band Report, and all that kind of stuff. But we also got my brother in here, my boy, my guy. I'm gonna let him go ahead and introduce himself because of the fact that, you know, if you're new to the game, then you don't know who he is. So go ahead.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Quano, band director, percussionist. We back, baby.
We back, baby. But yeah, here's the thing though. We not fully back. We not like back because of the fact that we're missing the person. You know,
She on vacation.
Right. She's on this is like vacation number like 4, right? So like
Live, bro. Live.
Hey, I ain't hating on her. You know, she's sitting out in the sun right now, getting a little sun in, kicking back. So we're gonna go ahead and wish her all the best and relaxation, because when she come back, I'm gonna fire up because she wasn't here. But man, it's been a lot going down in the band world, man. First things first, before we even jump into that, we have linked our store to our YouTube page. So as you're watching this, man, if you look at any of our merchandise down there, man, go ahead and pick it up. Remember, you get 30% off of your purchase, off of your final purchase. So just go ahead and remember that as you go ahead and look at all of our stuff, you get 30% off your final purchase. Just type in HBCU band and you will get 30% off your final purchase, man. All right, so let's go ahead and break down into this, man. So I just got some news or some information. It was told to me that the title of this still says something else. It shouldn't even say that. Yes, it does. I will fix that in a second. But man, there's been a whole bunch of stuff popping off in the band world right now. Lots of bands going on. We had Texas Southern PV, I want to say last weekend. Southern played last weekend. Jackson played last weekend. There was like this 3-way joint between UAPB and Texas Southern and somebody. It was a whole bunch of stuff.
Langston.
It was Langston. It was a whole bunch of stuff that went down. And even today, I saw Wilberforce doing something. Yeah, I saw Wilberforce, but we're gonna talk about that because I got a personal gripe with Wilberforce. I do.
What you feel like that baby Legion?
No, I don't actually. I don't even think that they're anywhere close to the Legion in that regard. I actually think. So here's my thing. No
Turn the music off first. Turn the music off.
Is it still playing?
Yes, it is.
I can't even hear it. I thought it wasn't on. God dang it. All right. There.
That's why I'm here.
I appreciate you, my brother. I appreciate you. So here's my thing with Wilberforce. And first of all, I got to say this. No disrespect to the directors and all that kind of stuff. I just kind of feel like, and this is me, this is Luke talking. I just kind of feel like they're I kind of feel like they're an illusion.
What you mean?
Because every time we hear them, right? Mm-hmm. The most times that we hear them and they sound great, they in a gym. Or they're somewhere where there's a lot of reverb. Right? I don't necessarily, I think I've heard them like one or two times, where I think they were at a game in the stands or some kind of performance in the stands. And I think the other time was when they were in Mardi Gras. And both of them, to me, in my personal opinion, didn't sound like the equivalent to what I've heard them in the gym with a lot of reverb. So maybe I'm off. Maybe I'm tripping.
I don't know, bro. I mean, they sound good. I don't. It's like sometimes I'll be like, you know what? You a hard man to please. I ain't gonna hold you.
My wife wouldn't say that. I'm just.
You feel me? But I just be like, damn, bro. It's like, give it to him, bro. I don't know.
I mean, this is the way I look at it, right? Like, if I'm going to analyze the program or any program at that for that matter. But if I'm going to analyze a program, I'm going to analyze it from top to bottom. I can't just be like, they sound good. That's it. I got to break down why I feel like they sound good or why I feel like they don't sound good. So I'm not saying that they don't sound good. Yeah. I just feel like it's an illusion. Like I think I need more outside Wilberforce for me to be able to substantiate the argument of they like, yo, they all right.
I have a question. Do you feel that North Carolina A&T sounds good?
Not in the stands.
Okay.
Not in the, but I've said that before. I personally believe that North Carolina A&T is one of the top field show bands that we have right now.
And so you don't think their band sessions is one of the best top tier?
Their band sessions in the band room in the little dungeon where all the reverb is. Like that's the illusion, right?
Well, let me say this. I'll give that to you because you have more expertise in regards to audio visual. So I'm not going to argue with that. My thing is pedagogy. However, I just feel like they top tier, bro. I feel like Wilberforce. Honestly, the only reason why I feel like people give Wilberforce a hard time, I don't know if they have a football team. I don't believe so.
I don't know.
But it's almost like they're one of the best kept secrets that's in Ohio, but they don't go nowhere. You know, HBCU bands really is a southern. It's like from a popularity aspect. Yeah, we got Hampton, we got Howard. You know, you got Norfolk in that area, but really it's a southern state thing.
I mean, that's fair. That's absolutely fair, and to be doing it like you said where they're at. I mean, that's a commendable thing. I think it's cool. Like I said, I don't, and I mean, if you want to get on the pedagogy part about it,
For who? Before you speak more?
Yeah, because I heard some intonation issues in there. Now,
but it's early in the year.
Fair.
It's early in the year, but also I do want to acknowledge this though. I saw some others like bands that did their thing. Virginia State did their thing. They had a long drum line, old school knockout battle, Benedict College versus Virginia State. That was really entertaining. Shout out to Fayetteville State. They did a field show. They look good.
I didn't see anything from Fayetteville. I saw something from Elizabeth City.
Yeah. Shout out to them.
What I liked about the drill was this. It was very similar to the old school Malaguena drill that we did in Norfolk, but it had a little twist to it. They had a little diamond shape, or they came out the corner with a little diamond shape and they brought it to the center and then they rotated that daddy, and it was a clean drill.
So I do want to, I have to say this because I think we just giving recaps of what we've seen before we get into the show real quick. Like my thing is, everybody know on the show, if you've seen the past seasons, I'm a big Florida Memorial fan. I still am. But I ain't gonna hold you, bro. The band to look after, my small band, my underdog band, write it down right now. It's Tuskegee Crimson Pipers.
All right, so I don't know.
Hey,
no. Let me say this because I want to make sure I get this out. So I did a review of Tuskegee
after Battle of the Band?
Before.
Okay.
So I did a review of Tuskegee before the National Battle of the Bands. They were under their little shed or whatever, and I was just like, their sound is not impressing me. I watched the National Battle of the Bands. I owe them an apology. I do. Tuskegee, I owe y'all an apology because I said that y'all sound was not impressing. But what you guys did at the National Battle of the Bands, I thought was light years different than what I had given the original review on from the video that I saw that they had let out. So Tuskegee, my bad, my bad.
Like that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, hey, can you fix my reverb, bro?
I can't fix your reverb. Hold up, it's your side.
I know, but I'm saying like I did the noise cancellation, but I still got it. But anyway, we're gonna keep going with it
You can still hear it now.
a little bit. It's getting better. I can hear now. Um, but let me say this: what I appreciate about Tuskegee is they're not trying to outdo like a big band. Like they're in their pocket, and I appreciate and I love when you know that this is my sector, this is my lane. You dig what I'm saying? And this is what I'm gonna do. Sound good now, bro. Appreciate it. It's like I appreciate that aspect. You feel what I'm saying? Like I feel like you have some bands that try to overdo it. I am excited. Not I'm gonna pivot a little bit, but I am excited honestly for Kentucky State. Honestly, with their new hire with Frat Chisholm. But let me say this: it was at one point, maybe like 5 years ago, like Kentucky State was like on the come up. Now I don't know what happened or transition in regards to administration, but the last time they were here for Houston, they did a damn good job then. So I really hope, and I always pull for the underdogs because at the end of the day, to build means something to me. Because every school that I've been to, I had to build, including the school, my current school that I'm at. Speaking of it, our numbers went up too, but that's a different story. My whole thing is what Tuskegee is doing. Honestly, uh, I have some colleagues um, at where my university that I'm attending, University of Houston, they was talking about them too. They was like, bro, like Tuskegee has a full sound. They're not overdoing it. They're not overblowing it. Blend, balance, intonation, articulation. Like, so when we speak about inviting other people to quote unquote our cookouts, like that's the representation that me and Luke always be speaking about. Not just the aggressive, abrasive sounds, which that's cool too. They enjoyed themselves. But Tuskegee honestly impressed a lot of people, honestly, by staying in that lane.
But that's one of the biggest things for me, right? Like, be you. Stop trying to be somebody else. That's my biggest thing. And I think, and I said it on the episode of LBR, and I'm saying it right now, bro. The crank up is a crank up. That's cool. I understand that people want to try to play the game, but you can sound great by just being you, perfecting your sound, not trying to sound like someone else and then trying to perfect someone else's sound. That's not how it works.
Mm-hmm.
So I absolutely agree with you in the fact that Tuskegee definitely stayed in a lane, didn't try to overdo it, and I appreciate it. That's why I said, Tuskegee, I owe you an apology. My bad. My bad. I jumped the gun. But in all fairness, it was a preview video that was on a cell phone. So,
Nah, they did a thing. For real.
all right, let's get ready to truly jump off into this, man. This is gonna be one of the quick ones, man.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I got to make this announcement. If anybody, any band director, I'm looking for this book. I'm gonna use all my resources. Uh, I'm looking for a book that's by Frank. I may mispronounce his name, but it's Frank Pieso Parasol. He made a book called 12 Concepts for 32, 48, 64, and 80 members. It's an old school book, kind of like Bill Moffitt. I'm trying to do some things with my band. If you have it in your archives, just shoot me a message, please. All right, that's it.
there you go. You got it out there.
Yeah.
So I want to go ahead and jump off into this, man. I was gonna go one way. You know what? I'm gonna go the way I originally was going to go because I told Quan that was the way that we were gonna go, and I'm gonna make sure I'm a man of my word. and I stick to it. So I'm gonna bring this up very quickly because this happened this past weekend, and I want to kind of talk about it, not in its entirety, but I do want to have a conversation about it. So let me get past this commercial real quick. Commercial. I know I should have already had this queued up. I'm sorry. This was on me. This was on me. I started late. All right. So everybody knows that TSU and PV played this past weekend. So I want to bring this video in very quickly so we could talk about this. Let's see. How do I get this off of here? There we go. And I'm going to bring this in like this. Boom. And let's see. Boom. Nope, that was the wrong thing. Oh, that was the right thing. Is that it? Do y'all see that on the screen? Can y'all see? Maybe I messed this up. I'll do that again. See, I don't.
Nah, we just saw this big sharing thing.
Yeah, that was my bad.
But why you do that? Give context of what you're playing, because I don't know either.
Bro, you don't. Did you not listen or look at the email or the text message? You are just you're not good.
I'm a band director. I'm sorry. I'm in the field.
I understand. You got a life. You got a life. There we go. Can y'all see that?
Yeah.
All right. So first off, let me get to this context here. This is not specifically about this particular thing. All right. It went down however you feel like it went down. Matter of fact, I'll do this. I will talk about this on the LBR because this was very interesting to me. But this is what I want to talk about. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll that beautiful beam footage. So this is, I want to say, the second year that this has happened in the sense of the lights being cut off at PV. Am I right, Quan, in saying that?
Yeah, I mean, it might have happened before, but I can recall Southern for sure.
Okay, so here's the question, because the issue isn't the lights being cut off. The question is, if the band leaves, if the home band leaves the stadium, as the visiting band is still playing in the stadium, does that constitute a win? I gotta know.
Like, why are we making up new rules and stuff, bro? Like,
no. I mean, so I'm not making up new rules. But here's the thing: I listen. I sit back. I watch. I keep quiet. I just watch. I peruse, and a lot of people were saying that if the home band leaves the stadium while the visiting band is still playing, that constitutes as an L. Is that true?
I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm being honest, I don't know. I ain't never thought about it like that. But let's be honest. Like, now I didn't see the fifth. Now I was at the game, but I had to go bring some kids back home, so I didn't see the fifth. So my thing is, were any of the songs that played in the fifth, like when the lights was out, what did he like? Did they? My question is, did they play neck during the game?
I mean, you at the game. I don't know if they played neck during the game.
I wasn't paying attention, bro. Not like that. Not like that. I ain't. It was my Labor Day Classic.
That's fair. That's fair. You probably a little inebriated. I got you, bro.
No, I had kids.
You had the cheering. You had the cheering.
So I was not.
You got inebriated afterward. I got you.
But so I don't know, but I tell you this though, it's going to be a narrative that's painted by social media and the masses, regardless, because somebody will say, "Well, I guess they didn't have enough bullets in the chamber." So, I mean,
I saw that.
you know what I'm saying? So I look at it though. Just say if they win 9 rounds, whoever back and forth. I'm just saying for PV. Just say if PV win 9 rounds, and out of 9 rounds they won 6, and then you throw another one that's your 10th. Did you technically win? See what I'm saying? So I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I don't constitute it like that because if you feel like you knocked somebody out already and you have the right to leave, you have the right to leave. But from my knowledge, it was also some things that was taking place, and it may be accurate or not. You know, they turned off the lights, and some people had to get out because they don't want to be fined.
Right, and see that's why I'm asking the question, right? And that's why I said I'm not necessarily specifically putting it on the Prairie View TSU game because I mean I've seen it happen before in other situations where home bands have walked out while the visiting band is still there, right?
Mhm.
But again, I've seen so many people who were saying, "Yo, they caught an L. That's your home. You don't walk out and you let the visiting band sit there and party in your stands." My thing was coming from a band director's view. If I know, the stadium is like, yo, the security stadium, whatever, has said y'all get 5 songs, y'all out. 6 songs, y'all out. Whatever the number is, we meet that quota.
Mhm.
It's time for us to go. Cause I
True.
don't I don't want that smoke when schools start back up and then I got to go see them.
True.
Cause they gonna be like, I told your band, I told you and your band that you had da 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 da. You had an agreement with me that da 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 da. Now, since you couldn't, here's that fine we need to give you.
I mean, like I said, I don't. Unfortunately, bro, I don't know the politics of it. You know, I'll find out eventually, but I don't know the politics of it. And I don't know, bro, because I know one thing I know about PV security, that's not like Prairie View
Right,
employees. That's like a real company. That's the same company that they use for NRG.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's different. I could see like when we used to be in Blackshear, a little small stadium, whatever.
I mean, it's still Blackshear, but you talking about old Blackshear. I know what you're talking about. I know
Yeah, Blackshear's
the original,
field.
right?
Blackshear field,
Where it wasn't nobody you can actually have to be a visitor of the band.
Right.
It
I
wasn't,
mean, we had
wasn't
what
nothing over there. Yeah, I got you.
we had one or two people. But anyway, uh nevertheless, it's like they solidify like we could play, till the cows come home. Now it was different. So I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. But I, if I could be honest, I really don't. I'm not gonna say I don't care because fifth quarters matter. But when if we gonna say that, will people say that Southern lost when under Prov Hamer when they marched out and Prov Hamer was talking about F all y'all? Like we gonna say that one too?
I heard that people were saying that though.
Come on, man. Not Southern people.
Of course, not some people. I mean, let's be real. In this particular instance, I didn't see not one PV person being like, "No, we lost that one." I gotta like you gonna ride for your school, like
Yeah, but but
and
I'm but I'm just saying, like it's crazy how this is how I really feel. Like all jokes aside, I really feel that PV is like the stepchild. Us and UAPB. I don't know why. It's like the stepchild of the swag. It's like PV could do great. It's still something that people gonna find wrong. And if I could be honest, I'm have a transparent and vulnerable moment. I do blame that somewhat on PV's alumni too,
oh,
because
oh.
I feel like when you allow people to talk about your mama or something like that, well, they gonna do it too. It's certain schools that I just personally feel like you could never fat mouth at all. You can't fat mouth quote unquote the Kings,
I mean, you
or
can, but it won't. You
it
won't go
won't go
anywhere.
anywhere,
Yeah.
right? And then one thing about Southern people, when a director from Southern goes somewhere, they they'll clown with them, but they still won't talk bad about that person either. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, bro. I don't know. I feel like people pick and of course, people bias and people pick and choose for their school, but I just feel like anytime when it comes to PV, like people just be hating on them. But
So I can kind of agree with what you're saying. I remember the years when I was there. Um, there was we had some good moments those years, and we had some very good opponents and matches. One of our former students was just on Facebook and brought up the Jackson State battle that we had in the gym, and that was just a heck of a moment. I remember that day. Um, Not the first one, the second one. Um, but I mean, you're right, because even on times where I felt like PV was definitely, or everybody felt like PV was definitely, you know, had gotten better or done a better job or whatever. It was always something. Um, in this particular case, I'm not going to say who the winner was or who the winner was not. My question, or what I'm going to stand on, is if that's your home, if that's your home school, where does the line draw of saying you caught that L and you didn't catch that L, pending whether you walked out or not? And
I mean, I just feel like that L only comes, bro, if uh the bigger L, the realistic L as a band director, that L come if you get fined.
mm,
The other shit don't matter. Like, like
yeah,
we gotta think about this from a financial fiduciary aspect, and we gotta think about this from a band director. I don't give a damn what the internet may say, but if I'm getting fined and we don't even know the amount of the fine, allegedly it's 20 something thousand. I don't know. That's what people was throwing around. It's like band directors and this band director circuit is almost like the young and the restless. But we don't know how much that fine is. I don't care if the fine was 10,000. I don't care if it was
fine.
5,000.
Still coming out the pocket.
You feel me? And that's what we fail to realize, bro. So I mean, if people say they lost, all right.
That seems like a, I don't know how to say it, man. It seems like a very PV / band director way of you looking at it. I think for you, for you is bad because on both ends of the spectrum, I'm an alumni
Mhm.
and I'm a band director.
And I'm a band director.
So even if you didn't have one, you still gonna come from the other.
Yeah.
If I wasn't a director, I'd still be an alumni. I'm a ride with my school. If I wasn't an alumni, I'm still a
I'm still a
director.
band
So
director. Yeah. It's like so a person could be like, man, Quan bias. Nah. Because I've been there where my very first, after fifth quarter whatever battle was with Jack Yates, you know, and it was our home stadium and we played and they got on the bus and left. And my kids, they were hype, but my principal was like, "Hey, it's time to go." And it just happened by the grace of God that they was like, "That's our last song,"
right.
because we was about to pack up and go too. Like, man, that's just what it is. When it's your job, that don't matter. That don't matter.
So so here we go. Rule is, see, because you started it with why we making them new rules. Rule is whoever had the better book is the one who won. No matter when you leave the stadium. Is So that's what the rule is. All right, we're gonna put that stamp on it. Whoever had the better book.
Yeah,
Because I here we go. Here we go. It just made me think about it. Cotton Bowl. Do you know how many times we talked to officers during the Cotton Bowl, during the fifth quarter, during the time that we were there and I was there?
mhm.
Because the officer was like, yo, y'all gotta go. Y'all can't play no more. Y'all done. And we like, yo, can we just get this one more out? And y'all, hey, no, shut it down. Like that was the conversation with the officers. Now, I do have a thought process on the back end of this. Why is it that, and this just popped in my head, why is it that we don't make the abbreviation at HBCU games for the fifth quarter? Like, let's be real. The band experience is the HBCU football experience, right? Why do we keep moving in a way like that experience does not exist? And from top to bottom, from AD to security guards, like that should be the conversation. Yo, they're going to play in the fifth quarter. Now, I already know that there are a lot of stuff on the back end of that, right? Like officers got to be paid for the overtime, all that kind of stuff. Like I get all of that. But that's part of the HBCU experience, and for some reason we keep getting into these situations where it's like, no, we gotta just shut it down. Like that's not what we do. You have an officer who done work 40 games and still be doing the same thing. Like we not gonna do the same thing. Like, why is that not now written into the HBCU football experience?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I mean, I don't know, bro. I ain't gonna speak about no money. I mean, no money. I'm reading this comment. I ain't gonna speak about no cops because I didn't have my experiences with cops
Fair.
at a football game. And bless God, shout out to my best friend Donovan because your boy would have been locked up for the weekend, and I ain't even do nothing.
I
You know what
mean,
I'm saying?
you didn't physically do nothing, but I mean, you said some stuff. You said some stuff. You
I
did.
mean, I held my own.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. You said some stuff.
I ain't no 304 now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't
Fair.
no
Fair.
304 now.
Fair. Fair.
But but I mean, the foot is out there. You know,
It is.
the
It
foot is out
is. It is. It is. One of
there.
these
But
days. Well, I will pull it up one of these days.
yeah, not on here. But
Not right now. Not right now. No, no,
yeah.
no.
But yeah. I mean, but I ain't no 304. So it's like I I don't know, bro. It it really sucks. I'm gonna be honest because now you have the band has to compete with the DJ. The band has to compete with, you know, bless God, they got commercial breaks with some games now for the band to play. It can't play during the football snap. So it's like, I always wanted to ask a coach this. So with all your preparation that you've done all this week, you telling me we would be the cause for you to lose? Like, come on.
I have a bigger argument than this. And I used to when I was at when I was at my former high school, I used to ask this question all the time. And then when I was at PV, I used to wonder this. I said, let me get this straight. The goal is to obviously to win, right? But you want to get these kids to a good school. Obviously, you probably want to get them to a D1 school. And you know, them PWIs ain't being quiet for nobody. And I ain't even talking about the band. I'm talking about the crowd. If you ain't been to a PWI game, LSU, Texas A&M, whatever, they don't shut up for nobody, right? But then on top of that, you want to try to get them kids to the league. You're not gonna tell that crowd to shut up. So why is it that all of a sudden the band is the issue? That's the thing
Because,
that bothers me.
because I feel like, and this is alleged, but I always brag about it. I don't know if it's true or not. When PV beat Grambling in that rain, I believe it was 2009. That was my last year marching. Prophet just passed away, so I had to be. We made so much noise that Grambling boy missed that field goal. The year after that, all the rules changed. The year after that, all the rules changed, and I feel like that was the start. The start of it. I feel like coaches got together, complained. You know what I'm saying? And was like, nah, the band is the band that. And they treated us as such because rain, sleet, or snow, we know why. We're the glitz and glamour. We're the pretty. But you cannot beat athletics, the cost and price of it, and what it brings. Now, in reality, This is why some HBCUs can go and get the snot beat out of them at a PWI, and then bring back that $1 million check, and that supplies that their entire season for that year. I mean,
Uh, I,
that's a different conversation, but
no,
they
I don't disagree with you, but I disagree with you, right? And I say that because it is right. You're absolutely right. HBC, you can go to a PWI and get the pure dog, yeah, beat out of them, right?
Mhm.
Get that big old check. The difference is that, and I just talked to Chuck about this because they just played a PWI.
Mhm.
The difference is that a PWI football game is not predicated on whether the band is going to be there or not.
Right.
That stadium is going to be packed regardless.
Whereas,
Whereas I just had a conversation with somebody from Norfolk because they put up an old picture of our stadium, William Dick Price Stadium, and it was packed. And the question was, well, how can we get the stadium packed like this again? My response to them was this: one, I don't even think that young kids in school right now, are that excited to even go to a football game just off top, right? Whoa,
nah, that ain't true,
whoa,
bro.
whoa, whoa, whoa. Let me finish because I didn't get to the rest of the point.
Mhm.
Then I followed with the other half of that is the Legion doesn't see bands like that that's worth playing. Like in the MEAC, the Legion, who's the Legion seeing that's gonna fill the stadium? The difference when we compare, if we go to PV, kids like the band is hype, right? And they see other bands that are exciting, so they'll see a Jackson, they'll see a Southern, they'll see a Alabama State. So that will drive people to want to go to that game. So that's what I'm saying. The difference between the PWI and the HBCU is the HBCU football experience is predicated on the band being there.
Mhm.
That's part of the experience. From a PWI perspective, whether the band is there or not, that stadium is going to be packed. So, for me, in my opinion, I really feel like there should be a financial aspect that is also placed into part of that experience, because if you take that band away, you also gonna take a lot of them spectators away. You think about the boombox without Southern, without the human jukebox, and without the sonic boom.
But the question is, who's here's the thing. I just gotta say the real. There's only a few schools that can honestly do that and get away with, and that band director won't get fired. Number one, that's Southern University. Number two, well, three schools. Number two, Jackson State, and number three, Florida A&M. That's the only three.
I disagree.
Who else can do that?
I think all the bigger schools can do that.
I don't think so.
Really?
Nope.
So you don't think that UAPB can do that?
Nope.
Wow. Bethune.
No. Nope.
Wow.
No. 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 Bethune, we can add them. The only reason why I say we can add them is because of, about how Mr. Wells has been there. Is it Dr. Wells? If I apologize, but
No, I think it's doctor, but I don't want to. Somebody correct us in the comments.
right. So it's like, well, let's just call him. Well, no, I'm in doctoral school, so I don't play with that word. So with that band director has been there that long, so he has a different cachet. You feel what I'm saying? I think I think it's just different, bro. I just think it's just different. Like being honest and all sincere. Um, that's why Tennessee State pedagogy and pedigree, not pedagogy. Well, their pedagogy is good, but their pedigree for their band is so great. They don't see nobody either. So like,
Okay.
so when you say people don't go to their games, how can you say that? Because they don't see nobody.
Okay, so that's a very good question. I don't know what Tennessee State game numbers look like, so it's kind of difficult for me to be able to substantiate that argument, right? But here we go. Tennessee State has a good band. Tennessee State not only has a good band, but and it kind of goes along the lines of what you're saying. Tennessee State not only has a good band, but Tennessee State has done a lot of good things within the band space. I mean, they got a Grammy. So I would want to go to that game to see my band. But the other half of that is I don't ever see, again, I don't know who they play on a regular, but typically when I see Tennessee State playing somebody, they're not like a small school. They're usually a school that either has a good football team or is a predominantly white institution that got numbers, or they're playing a HBCU that is pretty big name.
So there are people in the comments saying their numbers aren't great either.
Well, see, well then that's
Then that's proven.
It's my argument.
Right. But one thing that HBCUs that I think has died down to a degree is the aspect of rivalry, like real rivalry. Like no lie, PV and TSU, that's a real rivalry.
I agree with that.
Southern and
Grew up
Grambling,
around it.
that's a real rivalry.
I agree with that.
Jackson State Southern, that's a real rivalry. We really don't have Fam Bethune, that's a real rivalry. Like outside of that, most bands are still not even travel. When was the last time a band really traveled to all their games?
I mean, I think that's from a financial perspective, though. I don't think that that's just because they want to or don't want to, right?
No. Of course they want to. Like I've even talked to my line brother is he's an assistant provost at a HBCU, and what he told me was they have to possibly consider their band program, and they have a large band program. They have to consider, okay, this is going to be the travel band for finance.
But that's what I'm saying. I think it's with that particular situation, I think it's financial. But I think going back to what you were saying about the rivalries, I think the rivalries themselves still do exist. What I think that ended up happening is all of those rivalries are now more or less in one conference,
Yeah, I
right?
mean, but
Or
let's
or,
put it,
or split off. But go ahead.
but let's put it into a better perspective. The only black conferences is what SWAC, MEAC. That's the only that's the only two,
CIAA,
huh?
CIAA.
But it's okay.
Yeah,
I don't want to be disrespectful to them,
you
but
being
I'm talking about
disrespectful because what you're saying is they some peons, so we ain't really worried about it.
no.
That's kind of what you're
I
saying.
did not say that SIAC people. I did not say that SEAC SIAC. I
You,
did not
you
say that.
you
I did not
did.
say that at
He
all.
didn't.
But
He didn't verbally say it. He was just thinking it.
I did not think it either. I didn't consider it. What I'm saying is, it's like it's just not the market is different. You know what I'm saying? Like the market for the swag honestly could actually be bigger than what it is. But honestly, the SIAC or SEAC, however you want to pronounce it, damn near should merge with the MAC, the MEAC.
I mean, I don't disagree with that, but again, okay. So I don't disagree with what you're saying. Many schools in the MEAC were once in the CIAA. Well, a couple of schools. But again, I just going back to what I originally said, I still think that those rivalries were all split. If you look at Bethune and Fam, they in the SWAC now. That's a rivalry. Norfolk and A&T, that was a rivalry. That don't exist no more. Virginia State and Norfolk, they took the Labor Day Classic away, so that doesn't exist anymore, right? So all of the rivalries are in the SWAC. So when you really think about it, and this still goes back to my original point, if you really think about it, if all the rivalries are in the SWAC, then you know that without a shadow of a doubt, when you're preparing for these games, you know what's going to happen. You know there's going to be a 0, and you know there's going to be a 5th. And that 5th, in my opinion, in my opinion, the way I was raised, don't end until your book end. The best fifth that I remember having at PV, and I will talk about it till I'm dead and gone, is Alcorn and PV in the rain. Because we went back and forth until we had nothing left in that book.
Right.
That to me is what a fifth should look like. And understanding that from an HBCU perspective, understanding that from a stadium perspective, a administration perspective, from an AD perspective, you know that when that happens, let me back up, this is part of what we do. Because let's also think about it. When you see all those people who sit around and listen to the fifth quarter, those people paid tickets.
Mm-hmm.
And those people, in my opinion, didn't pay the ticket just to see the football team. Not just to see the football team. The percentage didn't pay just to see the football team. You may get a couple of people, little kids out there with their grandma who or granddaddy who got season tickets who just love the game, and little Johnny wanted to stay, or little Ray wanted to stay because he wanted to play bass drum when he get older or something. You may get that small percentage of people out there. But the majority of people who are sitting in front of that band with cameras and all that kind of stuff, those people paid tickets and they really wanted to see the bands. Not better the football team, but the bands.
No, I agree with you. I just, from a financial standpoint, I just don't know how we get to where we're appreciated and valued again. Because even when we have these battles of the bands, some of the money that's being dished out is not valued there either.
Oh well, you already know how I feel about that, my brother.
So,
You already know how I feel about that. We don't even need to get into that because we'll go into a whole nother conversation. Now, what I did see very quickly in the conversation with somebody, I think it was Amos, who was saying that there's no money in the fifth quarter, which I can understand that argument, but then again, leading back to your point, we have to set up for that, right? Like we have to think about that. Yes, there's no money in the fifth quarter, but how do we figure out a way to make money, right? Keep the concession stands open. Let people get another hot dog and sit around for 5, 6, 7, rounds of fifth quarter. Like there's ways to do it to be able to I don't want to say appease, but I guess you want to say appease the culture to where there's an understanding as to what happens in an HBCU game. I just think it's part of it, and we shouldn't honestly have situations where the lights get turned off and the home band has to leave because the lights get turned off. To me, it should be when that book run out and you ain't got nothing left. So, I mean, maybe that's the 40-something-year-old. That's the 40-year-old in me. Maybe, I don't know.
But I also feel like because we experienced it, like it's a difference. Like when you experienced it, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
it's a big difference, and I feel like a lot of these kids are being shortchanged. But again, I do feel like this. I feel like some certain bands, unfortunately, are given that certain privilege that they're gonna do it anyway.
True.
You feel what I'm saying? Like
That's true. That's true.
respectfully, if that was the same situation with Southern and Texas Southern, they would have took that fine. If a fine was involved, they would have took it.
Depending, here's a caveat to that. Depending on where it was at,
Yeah,
because if it was at Mumford, then sure. But if it was at Dynamo, I doubt it.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
right. I give you that one.
yeah. So
That one.
that definitely depends. Um, man, we're gonna have to wrap early. I don't even want to call this early. I actually want to call this on time. We need to. Hey, this season, for those people who are new and those people who are returning people, I think this season we're gonna try to cut down on the 2-hour shows. because people got stuff we got to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So um, with that being said, though, man, I definitely want to say I'm happy to be back. Happy to get this thing going again. It is a Wednesday. I know for a lot of people, man, all of our subscribers who have the notifications, all that kind of stuff on, it didn't pop up in your notifications that we had a show today. Um, there are some things that I'm changing over. There are some things that I'm switching up. So just be on um, just be on the lookout for that. Some of the things that I'm changing up, man. Remember, we have our store also at the bottom of this YouTube page. So check out the merchandise. Go ahead and click it. You know, get in there, get any of it. Support us. Support what we got going on here, man. There's a lot more that we have going on, man. There's a lot of things that we have in the works. I know I say that all the time, but it is so true. So continue to support us. Continue to support the show. Remember, use the code HBCU band, and you'll get 30% off your final purchase. I want to make sure that we can give you as many discounts as we possibly can, man. So make sure you guys check that out. Southern Stadium would cut the lights off on both schools in the late 90s and early 2000s. I mean, yeah, they probably would still stay though. With that being said, though, Quan, man, any final thoughts? Anything you got for the culture?
Nothing, bro. I'm happy for this new band season. I'm blessed, man, for the circles that God has placed me in, and my school is growing. My band program is growing. We're tipping 50 plus. You know, first time in I think 20 years. So keep building. If you build it, they will come.
If you build it, they will come.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Pause. Uh,
good one. It's a good one.
but yeah, man. So yeah, man. I'm thankful for the circles that I'm at. Shout out to Prof Hamer. And honestly, let me say this. Shout out to Dr. Zachary because and the Marching Storm staff. My kids went down there to Prairie View, and enjoyed themselves. Shout out to the Storm. Honestly, they have a new band hall facility that's large enough for them to be in there. Um, it has AC, you know. Um, Shout out to him to making my kids' experience worthwhile. Had field access passes, so forth and so on. Shout out to Prof Hamer for the information that he's been giving me on how to write drills, and even Brian Simmons. So I'm just blessed, man, around my circle. I know we be clowning about rivalries, but in regards to music education, people really do be looking out for me. So,
Absolutely, absolutely.
oh, Chuck too. Chuck gave me the Patterns and Motions book. Like anything that I have that Chuck has in his possession, he slided. So shout out to him too.
Chuck's a good dude, man. Chuck's a good dude. Um, with that being said, though, I will have. Hold on, wait a minute, because apparently this thing didn't come on or did come on. Can you? Is that playing right now?
Mhm.
God dang it, I can't hear none of that. Anyway, man, I got to go back to using my headphones. I was trying not to use my headphones. Anyway, there's some new information, or there is something that just popped up. Not in the last couple of minutes, but about an hour or so ago that I actually want to talk about. So I'm going to talk about it on Luke's Band Report. So look out for that on tomorrow for a new Luke's Band Report. There's some new things that I want to talk about. So be on the lookout for that. Also, remember, we will be back on next Wednesday. Hopefully, we will have the whole crew here, the whole cast, the whole crew, and we will get it in. Remember, we're going to try to shorten this thing up. So make sure you get in there. Also, remember, once again, make sure you go down to the store, click it, look at the merchandise, go ahead and support us as much as you can. Remember, use HBCU band at the end, and you can get 30% off your final purchase. Remember, HBCU band, 30% off your final purchase, man. I have nothing else. This has been super dope, man. I enjoy catching up with my brother as always. Other than that, I have nothing else. And we will see y'all on next Wizard. Did I say Wizard?